Okay, Sonali, we are ready.
What's happening? I can't see my screen. Okay, I'm back. Oh, thank you. Hello, everybody. Today is the 10th of January, 2026. We are already on the second week of January, and I would like to warmly welcome Venerable Rohini to this session, and welcome everybody else who's joining via Zoom and anyone who may be live streaming via the YouTube channel as well. Our program, as usual, will commence with the in-session practice of mindfulness. We will then move on to the talk on today's topic. The topic for this week is digital detox, something we would all like to listen to. And finally, we will be moving on to any questions and any reports towards the end. So to begin today's session, I would like to warmly welcome Venerable Rohini to start the in-session practice of mindfulness.
Hello everyone. For today's in-session practice, I think we are going to practice mindful walk. It is walking day today. So I would like to start or asking to start with standing posture. So once you decide where to walk, once you choose the platform or the path to walk, then you can stand in one side, one end of the path. Either it is inside the house or in a corridor or in outside area, it doesn't matter. After choosing, you can stand on one side or end of the one side and observe your standing posture. That will help you to recollect your mind with the body. So when you stand, you can observe your posture. If you want, you can close your eyes even. So after closing your eyes, you can observe nicely your posture, your standing posture. So maybe you can use couple of seconds or maybe 1 minute to observe. So you might feel the bodily weight and you might feel the surrounding warm weather or the cold weather, cold air. And you might feel your posture, straight line. And after that, you can start to walk. While you are walking, you might feel your bodily sensations, not like standing. When you walk, the feelings are changing. When you stand, only one feeling, you can keep your mind, you can focus into one thing. But when you start to walk, it will change, and it will change time to time. When you put your left foot, your feelings are changing to the right. So you can observe those changes. When you put your attention on those changes, your mindfulness getting sharp and sharper. So today I would like to ask you to observe the standing posture, and then you can start mindful walk. After walking, start walking, you can observe the changes of feelings, how they change and how you feel. And when your focus is distracted with sounds or any thoughts, not to worry, because if you know you are with the sound, then you are mindful. So not to worry, whenever it distracted, whenever you understand, whenever you recognize it, you can bring your attention back to the body. Otherwise, you can keep the attention with the sound or with thoughts. Doesn't matter as long as you know it. So we start walking for 15 minutes. Okay, everyone. I hope you all had a good mindful walk. Okay, everyone, thank you for participating. And over to you, Sonali.
Thank you, Venerable Rohini. Next, we move on to the talk on this week's topic. The topic for this week and next week will be digital detox, something we all want to do, but somehow difficult to do and is struggling not to do. So I think we should be very timely for us to listen to this. So with that, I now invite Venerable Rohini again to start the talk on this week's topic.
Thank you, Sonali. Hello, everyone. To start with our topic, digital detox. And the poster write-up is Reclaim Your Brain's Wiring. When I thought about this topic, remind me once upon a time, but not so long, we had a very nice time. The life was so simple and easy and very close to the nature and very close to the human nature as well. So we all had, I think, wonderful life close to the physical world. But gradually, after this smartphone is introduced, so it all changed gradually. And after COVID pandemic, the COVID was the turning point for this. Because during that period, we couldn't move out, we couldn't contact others physically. So we all stuck with the digital world. The whole learning has happened through the digital world and communication. Everything has happened, or everything depend on this digital world. So that gradual changes actually rapid after COVID. So now we are getting in a world like we don't contact people physically. We always looking for the digital world and always, even during lunch hour, even in office, And at home dinner table, everybody is surfing through the web or social media, scrolling up and down. So these are happening everywhere, even in small countries and poor countries. No changes, not any difference. Everybody is stuck with this digital world. If you walk on the street or look in bus stops or shopping complexes, you can see everyone is glued to their cell phones. They are constantly moving the screen back and forth, and they don't know what is happening around them. So, and in near future, this will change in drastically when the AI is come forward. So now it's changing. Everything is depend on AI. So you can't contact AI without the smartphone. So the smartphone is actually controlling us rather than we control it. The smartphone is controlling us. So the society is in a kind of era that needs some attention to reverse these habits. So it is obvious and very bad looking society, actually. We are going backward in a humankind, but going forward like a robot. We stuck in a technical world. So it is why we should have to look at, or why should we need to rewire or detox. This digital detox is why we need it. It is very important to look at why, to see why we need it. So from my point of view, and all philosophers also, scholars also says that smartphone is acting like a tool or like an instrument that delivering a huge or rapid doses of dopamine and melatonin. So dopamine and melatonin is every time when we touch the touch bone and when we going up and down, it's release the dopamine and the melatonin. So that foster the habitual compulsion or the urge to check them frequently. Because that dopamine is like a happy hormone. So it encourage anyone to urge to check the smartphone frequently. This most of the people are addicted to this. An addicted people or addicted person keeps prior digital interactions locked in the brain. So when you use the smartphone again and again frequently, so the digital interactions, what you did is locked in the brain. So that leads to fragment the attention span and cognitive impairment. So that is what scholars are saying. They say it gives a similar effect to full night's sleep deprivation. If you wake up a whole night, how do you feel? So you feel exhausted. It is the same feeling is or same effect is happening when you addict to addict to this digital world. And this excessive use of digital devices also result for the dementia, digital dementia. So whenever you use again and again, your forgetfulness and the concentration abilities are reducing. So that is why we need to have detox, the digital detox. So it is good to know what is dopamine and melatonin, because dopamine is like a brain chemical. It's a crucial brain chemical actually. It work like a neurotransmitter, and it's a hormone. It acts like a messenger to influence the pleasure, influence the motivation, influence the movement, influence the mood change, and the focus and learning. All those um, things influenced by dopamine. So when you repeatedly using cell phone or smartphone means you how do you call, releasing dopamine from your brain again and again without any gap, without any gap. So it is a good thing when it has happened time to time. Because before, usually for stressful people or anxiety people, they recommend to do gardening. Why? Because gardening help to do release the dopamine. So it is like, you can't do gardening throughout the day. So you can do it for a certain period of time, 1 hour or 2 hours. So that's help to release dopamine. But when you use the smartphone, every time you use, every time you scroll, every time you are surfing, that release the dopamine. So when it is high or when it is imbalanced, that leads to mental disorders like Parkinson, ADHD, a lot of things happen. So these are what scholars are saying. The melatonin is same. It is a hormone. It is responsible for regulating sleep. What the addicted person for cell phone or smartphone, they can't sleep. They don't have good sleep. The regulating system is something getting wrong. So we'll look at what kind of damage this cell phone, this overuse cell phone, or continuous using cell phone, what will happen to our social and physical and emotional well-being. So we'll check what is scholars or the experts says. So because of the digital overusing cell phones or digital media, any digital media, so it is obvious the eye strain. Digital eye strain, it says. Dry eyes, redness, itching, blurry vision, headaches, light sensitivity. Those are all you can get by overusing the cell phone or using digital media. And also poor posture and pain. So when you use your smartphone, you can see they glued to their face, they glued to the phone. So they look at, like, the neck is always bent. So the poor posture is there. So the neck, shoulder, back pain is obvious. And prolonged sitting also in one posture is not also good. So poor posture and pain is obvious for those people who are overusing this digital media. And then sleeping problems. So as I said, melatonin is responsible for sleep. And when it's come or when it is secret more than enough, it distract the sleeping pattern. It disrupt the sleeping pattern. And also I think smartphone has blue light. and all the digital equipment has blue light, so that also make harder to sleep. And the other thing is increase the obesity. So when you do when you stuck in digital world, you sit somewhere and you eat and eat and eat and drink and stuck in the digital world. So that's also going to make you a poor physical condition. And the mental and cognitive effects, when we consider those effects, anxiety and depression are higher risk of um, using digital media, overuse digital media, and mood disorders as well. Just when you just look at when you are with the digital world, that means either in a social media or internet, you are reading either news or any kind of information. So those information, sometimes it's good for to increase the lustful feeling. Sometimes it is increasing the hatred feelings. When you are, some people are trained to like sad stories, sad news, or distractive news. They are trained to have. One Daika yesterday, they came to visit me and they said one girl working with them is using headphone all the time while she is working. The headphone broadcasting, how do you call, fearful sounds. So she wants to have that sound. Otherwise, she can't work. Otherwise, she can't concentrate. So right now, she is having that dopamine from that sound. But later on, maybe in a week or month, who knows? But it will come after her as a anxiety or depression or any mood disorder, because it is not a normal situation. No, it's not a normal liking to listen to a horror sound. So likewise, when you use cell phone or any digital media, it's tend to look at whatever you like. So some people like horror things. Some people like sad things. Some people like lustful things. So when you watch again and again those things, so you are having, or you get trend of anxiety, maybe depression, whatever you see, whatever you like to see, and the end might be that kind of disaster. And then the other thing is difficulty in concentrating. So because media, the social media or any YouTube or anything is changing, very fast change. It's a nature of that YouTube videos or any videos. It change very quickly. So that the concentration is very difficult, and that will get as a habit, and difficult concentrating is a result of that. And sometimes they say short-term memory, reduce short-term memory, and sometimes relying on devices. Yeah, right now, I think just a couple of minutes ago, Tarendu said he wants his alarm from 6 o'clock. So couple of times he wants to have an alarm running. So it's not, I mean, only Tarendu or only me or only Sonaria. Everybody is like that. So we all depend on digital alarm, digital notifications. We all need to have that notification, otherwise we are lost. We can't remember things. Even this program, before Rajika send us, usually she send us the notification. So otherwise we forget it. So likewise, we have attention and memory issues. And all other thing is feeling easily irritable. So if you look at people who are using touch phone most frequently, they are very irritable people. They are overwhelmed people. They, because of the overload, digital overload, they are very nervous. They get very angry most of the time. So those are the uh, qualities or bad qualities you can see from those people. And it's the other thing is for children, it is there are negative impacts on children actually, because their brain is developing and potentially affecting social skills. They says, I mean, scholars says, and their attention span and the self-confidence may reduce because of this social or digital media. And cognitive benefit, when we consider, if you can be without digital media for 4 weeks, only 4 weeks, that improve, the scholar says, that improve your attention span by equivalent to 10 years younger person. With 4 weeks without digital media. Only 4 weeks, that means only 1 month. So just imagine if we consider a 1 hour per day without digital media, how it will be. So next we will see the influence on social behavior. Actually, these days children, they avoid real life interactions. They always, even when they want something from mom and dad, they just text. They use social media over to contact with their uh, colleagues, friends. That is overusing without any real contracts, real interactions. So that is a very bad, actually it's bad effect on social conditions, because people are not knowing, they are very rely on social media, and those are not really reality, and it is not sometimes true. So, but we think it is true, and we are very lost in social media actually. And especially children, due to less face-to-face interactions, they maybe have impaired social skills. So anyhow, anyway, we will look at how we set ourselves to control myself, or yourself to control you, not the phone. Now, phone is controlling you. So how we can change this situation to control myself by myself. So that is our target today. So digital detox is the answer. That is the answer for reclaiming our best self. So digital detox is, it is not completely we ignoring or completely stop digital use. It is just a period of time we are going to avoid using it. Deliberately reduce the time frame. How long we are going to use is, nowadays we use whenever we wake up we use it. So we are going to reduce that time. So that is the digital detox. It is not completely stop. We can't live with that complete stop, because it is already the social workplace, everything is depend on the digital media. So we can't stop, but we can reduce the time. And it is not saying like, we are going to the forest and sit under the tree and do nothing. We can interact, we can do the same things, but we can reduce in a limited space. Or for example, we are not going to take the cell phone or the smartphone to the bedroom, and we are not going to take the smartphone to the dining table. So likewise, we can keep some kind of rules within the home environment as well as at workplace. So if we can have a break from a break or pause or relax to be present moment, or if you can follow the rule of 20-20-20, you may know. So every 20 minutes, look 20 feet away for 20 seconds and take regular breaks like that. And if you can give a break when you change the social media or when you change the platform from internet, one platform to the other, if you can break 1 minute or 2 minutes, give 2 minutes break, so that is also helpful to digital detox. Otherwise, you are not giving your brain a break. So this is so important. If you need to consider giving a break to your brain. So that is to do that. One thing I can suggest, engage with the physical activity. So if you can go out and go for a walk without the phone, I mean, so you can leave your phone or you can leave it in a bag, not in your pocket, because every time when the notification comes, you urge to have look what is the notification. So then urge to have reply. So likewise, so you need to keep it away while you are walking or while you are doing any activity. Maybe play table tennis, maybe play a netball, or whatever sport, any sport. And you can keep boundaries. You can keep screen time limits. You can keep your devices out of bedroom. You can keep your devices out of dining table. You can keep devices out of talking time. So likewise, you can make rules and you can keep them. So that is it's also important to this digital detox, or those methods are very important. I mean, most of the people using even in workplaces now, and at home also we can use those rules, and also you can use stop screens at least 2 hours before bedtime. That will improve the sleep time, or that will improve the sleep. You will have a good quality sleep. And you can use blue light filters also to reduce the exposure of blue light. And every time when you have urge, I mean, if you keep a time frame, these 2 hours, I am not going to use my digital devices, any devices, then within that 2 hours, if your mind saying, so if you get urged to go for surfing or go for any social media, then you can be mindful and watch that thought until it fade away. So whenever your thought arise saying to go for digital media, digital device, then you can observe that thought from beginning to the end until it fade away. So that is a good mindful practice to do the digital detox. So I'm not saying all the time you need to do that. I'm saying that when you fix 2 hours or 1 hour or so to not to touch the phone, During that period when you have that urge, you can use that mindful watching your thoughts mindfully until it fade away. So maybe you can take few breaths, deep breaths until it fade away. So you can use different techniques to overcome these thoughts. Or you can use, we usually do that, Sati Pasala. We usually do, 5 things you can see, look around, and you observe 5 things you can see, and listen to 4 things you can hear. So like you can use all the senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and the body, to distract that thought during that period. When you have that kind of time frame, also 1 hour, I'm not going to use the devices. So during that period, when the thought is coming, urging to use that device, then one thing is you can observe the thoughts. The other thing is you can contact the physical world with that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 process. Um, So the mindfulness is the best thing for us because we are mindfulness practitioners. So mindfulness is the best thing we can use to guidance. No, other than normal guidance. I told them you all the nighttime limits and limit areas and blue light filters. All those are everybody using. Everybody is giving those instructions. But for us, digital detox is we can invite people to be mindful for a certain period of the certain time per day that will rewire your brain by activating neuroplasticity. So if you need to activate your neuroplasticity, that will fight against it will work as a detox. So what you need to do, you need to be mindful for a certain period per day. When you do practice it, so neuroplasticity is helping you to activate your new parts, new neurocells. That activation is helpful for you to overcome that toxic or whatever that happened while you are using that digital devices. So mindfulness practice, paying attention to the present moment, paying attention to the thoughts, paying attention to the feelings, paying attention to the physical world, that can be helpful, that can be useful for us to use to overcome this habit. If you are having that kind of habit, so the normal guidance is having restricted time, having limited times, having no digital device areas. So those are anyone can give those guidance or those instructions. The normally, if you surf through the internet, you will get those instructions, those guidance from scholars, from people, so from wise men. But as mindful practitioners, we can use mindfulness because mindfulness is helpful for us to overcome this rewiring. The toxic level is when we use again and again the devices, toxic level is getting higher. But when we are consequently, when we are doing some mindfulness practice daily base, we can shape it. We can cover that damage. At least we can cover that damage. If you can combine those 2 methods, one is having that physical, the device is taking away physically from you for a time period, or not using for a time period, or using some other gadgets or some other devices instead of those things. Those are physical world, physically what we can do. And as well as that physical things, we can use the mindfulness practice to overcome this type of habits. So breathe in, breathe out, or just noticing what you feel. Those are very important. And always I say, while you are in a working place or at home, or just 2 minutes every 1 hour or every 2 hours, just having 2 minutes for mindfulness practice, just observing thoughts or just observing breath. That's also helpful for the digital detox, because it will break that habit for a time to time. And my invitation is um, to have the best version of you is here, not on a screen. So try not to use a screen, or try one or free evening, digital free evening, digital free morning, digital free 1 hour per day. So that 1 hour you can use for mindfulness practice, or maybe you can use breaks for mindfulness practice. So by doing that, because we can't stop using devices, we can't stop smartphones, we can't stop surfing through many social media and internet, anything we can't stop, because we are already engaged with those things, and so whole world is engaged with that. So we can't stop those things, but we can regenerate our brain, or regenerate our brain by using mindfulness as a technique, as a tactful method to overcome habit of having digital media, and having new paths in brain. So my invitation is to pick a screen-free evening, invite your family or friends to join you, make the dinner table or bedroom tech-free zones, and reflect day by day. Reflections you can do after doing these methods. Is it good for your feelings, or is it good for your life? And remember, the detox is not avoiding or rejecting all the technical terms and technical things and technical devices. Only the stepping back for joy and connection with whole world, with whole natural world. So all the best for everyone. If you are having addiction, or if you have a habit of surfing over internet or social media, please try one of those. Especially try to be mindful and connect your brain, or connect new parts in your brain. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Venerable Rohini. That we needed to hear very much. Most of us here, I think, wanted to hear that, because we're all struggling with this technology. And if you can take one thing out of that and implement one of those rules, as Venerable Rohini said, I for one have taken away that I'm going to implement that 20-20-20 rule for sure. And we already have certain rules in the house in place for technology, but I think we can all take away something from that, if not for everything. So thank you, Venerable Rohini, for that. We needed to hear it. Next on the agenda is reports and questions. I now invite Bandula to start this session, and I will share my screen with the beginner's guide. Bandula, are you? Or you're struggling to unmute? I think you have just unmuted.
Yeah, I'm okay now. Yeah. Thank you, Venerable Rohini. It's a nice talk. And dear Dhamma friends, we got one report today. So allow me to read the report.
Bandula, would you be able to share the beginner's guide first?
Oh, yeah. I don't have the Sonali Beginner's Guide. Do you mind share it for me?
I've shared it already.
Yeah. Mindfulness for beginners. So this is the new participants who can follow some instructions. So how to practice mindfulness, and it was prepared by the Nisarnavana Forest Monastery monks. So it's a very valuable. So first is mindful walking. So you can follow these instructions. Mindful sitting. So how to do mindful sitting. So it's good to start the practice small time intervals and then continue for a 2-hour period. So you can gradually increase the walking, sitting, and then go up to the 2-hour period. So it's also very important to write reflection reports. So once you do all the practice, it is mandatory actually to write reports. So the reports you can include how the mindful walking, mindful sitting. So how do you feel while you're walking and sitting? And so you can include your object then when you're walking. So your texture of a ground, how do you feel it, the pressure points, etc. So you can include all that to your report. And the report can be submitted using either Google form or email. So, so if you want mindful, the past mindful practice talks, you can go to nisarnavana.lk and there's a link here. That's all, Sonali, I can see it. So let me read the report today. Venerable Swamin Mahansa, mindful walking. Walked freely 3 times, then walked observing feet as left and right. I noticed that my mind was thoroughly with the roughness and hardness of the floor. Further, could feel dryness, coldness, and the softness of the floor. Not much thoughts. Felt cold and shivered a bit of cold breeze in the morning, natural during this season. Birds were chirping cheerfully, welcoming me to their space. I felt fresh and energetic at the beginning, but gradually felt sleepy and lazy. Mindful sitting. Sat on a cushion and observed posture as a pyramid. Thought, I am here now, sitting. Listen to sounds, and with time, belly movements grabbed the attention. Mind was glued to body for some time. Belly motion gradually ceased. It's written by an adult. That was the end of the report, Venerable.
It's a good report. Yeah, when we walk, we feel roughness, hardness, or coldness, warmness, So whatever we feel is related to our bodily temperature, body. If the body is soft, if your soul is soft, softer than the surface where you walk, then you feel the surface as a hard one. When your body is cold, colder than the where you walk, then you feel the warmness in the surface where you walk. So likewise, it's always compare with the bodily condition. If your body is cold, you feel the outside as warm. If your body is warm, you feel outside as cold. Like it is always there's a comparison between my body and the outside world. So that is how we recognize things. So this recognition is good, because when you recognize, because all are materials, all are, even the body and the outside world is built with the earth element, air element, water element, and the heat. So those four elements are outside world as well as inside my body. Those elements are playing. So when we recognize something like colder or warmer or like that, so we are comparing the elements in my body with the elements outside. So it is good to comparison, and it's good to notice. Then you can develop your mindfulness, or it will get sharper and sharper. So anyhow, the sitting is also good, and that first posture, and then the belly movement, and then finally the gradually it ceased. So that is what I heard. So there's a good report. When you have that the good observation while you are walking, that very helpful for sitting practice. If you are anyone, if you can sit soon after walking practice, that is very helpful. It is like you are sitting for 20 minutes more. So that first 20 minutes of your sitting meditation is covered with the walking meditation. So that is so helpful, and it's a good report. Thank you for sharing with us, and please continue in the same way, and nothing to correct.
Thank you very much, Rohini. There's another report in chat. Please allow me to read it. Teruvan Saranai. Initially, there's no urge to put into words that is fading as, within comma, reveal it. It is silent and waiting till things fade away. Anyhow, it got the ability to express. Once it was mentioned that suicidal thoughts fade away sometimes. It is like a fear of, within comma, if it happens. Kept facing the fear. As I live alone, it was not comfortable sometimes. As there was no option, it was like, within comma, have to face. It was like no way to escape from that. The lifestyle and other factors were supportive in facing it. Mostly the fear arose when using a knife and a pair of scissors, as if harm would happen using them. But I had to cook and use all of them. Kept facing those fear, etc. It was like accepting their presence. Then notice there are some moments in which those fading things are absent. So it was like knowing as though are there when they arise, and those are not when it is in a nature of nothing to say. The power of those thoughts has reduced. Fear is less. At the same time, notice these things get fuel because of the dislike of having them. Gradually, the dislike decreased to very little while being with them when they appear. When it feels like a dislike is there, keep accepting it if it not being with it, as it is the only solution. Teruvan Saranai Bante. That's the end of the report.
Thank you for sharing with us, whoever wrote it. Yeah, so time to time people get different thoughts. Some people get same thoughts again and again. So that is also not something to worry about. What I want to say, when you get or when anyone get kind of thoughts that are like negative thoughts, distractive thoughts, the in the report it says the observing it reduces the risk, reduces the fear. That's a good thing. And two things I notice in this report as a good things. One is noticing it. The person who writing it notice it. So she or he knows that those thoughts are coming. And when it's fade away, she knows or he knows. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing for escape from those thoughts. If you are not notice, then it will grow until you can't cut off. So noticing it before that has happened is a very good thing. So I appreciate that, first one. And the second one is he or she realized that looking at it is the one way to reduce the fear of it. If you can look at those thoughts as just a thought, it is not my thought. So we used to take any thoughts as my thought. That is the problem. So what we need to do, anyone, so we all time to time get negative thoughts. We all time to time get lustful thoughts. We all time to time get hatred thoughts. It is not avoid, can't avoid. No. It is not easy to avoid. And actually, the thoughts are not any control. It is not my control, under my control. It's usually thoughts are happening. It's like a waves in the ocean. Can you stop the waves? No, you can't. Because if there's an ocean, there's waves as well. So thoughts are like that. Thoughts are, we can't stop thoughts, and we can't stop also what kind of thoughts we are having. It's also, we can't stop. So only thing we can do, we can observe them, thinking it is not my thought. So it's hard. I'm not saying it is easy. Don't take it as my thought. Everybody gets, even sometimes Buddha was thinking about it. He's not having suicidal thoughts or anything. He was thinking about poor people. He was thinking if those kings are reducing the taxes, these poor people can live in a good manner, of fruitful manner. So he was thinking like that. So then suddenly he realized, I'm thinking, I'm taking my thoughts as mine. If you get thoughts, any thought, it is my thought, then sometimes we have to take, and most of the time we have to take actually. If it is a good, vibrant or positive thoughts, then we have to take them and we have to continue the life with the positive thoughts. But if you can recognize thoughts, when you have the negative thoughts, and if you can recognize, don't take it as mine. Just look at it as a someone else thought. How do you do that? It is not easy. I'm not saying easy, but you can look at like, okay, so for me, I'm getting now as like a suicidal thought. So when I use a knife or a scissor or any other equipment, so when I feel like, oh, okay, I can use this as a to suicide, then you can convert that thought into positive manner. Okay, so this scissors I can use for cutting something else, and I can cut some decorative things, and you can think of some other things you can use for those knives or scissors or any other equipment you use for positive things. Everything we can use for positive purpose. I think I hope the person is or whoever who wrote this report is in here. So if I am not convincing the procedure, please ask question again. So what my answer is, please don't take your thoughts as my thought. One thing. The second thing is, whenever those thoughts arises, if you can't think as it's mine, not mine, if you feel like it is mine, then try to convert those thoughts in a positive manner. What you can use those scissors or knives or other things for good purpose. How you can use it for the good thing. So likewise, convert your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. If you practice it again and again, your negative thoughts will replace with positive one. I hope so. And if there's any questions, if someone whoever wrote this report is in here, please ask any questions. If you have any question, please.
Thank you, Venerable Rohini. There's a one. So, do we allow someone to answer, present a question if they are in the if they are
Yes,
here?
Pandula, go ahead if this is time for questions now.
Okay. Yeah. If somebody wants to ask question, yeah, they can do it. By the way, there's one more question has come. I first read that. Avasara, Venerable, is the addiction to the digital media due to the dopamine or the root of desire? Does the phenomena cause and effect come into existence here? Example, the feelings lead to craving and clinging. So does the dopamine have effect on the feelings to generate pleasant feelings, etc.? Sadhu, Venerable. The end of the question.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. The first and the second one, the addiction is, yes, dopamine is, we like dopamine. So it gives us pleasurable feelings. So that is why for anxiety and stressful situations, when the doctor says to do gardening. So dopamine is very helpful and we like it. So because we like it, we use more and more the digital media, digital devices. True, it is true. And the independent origination is also same. The feelings, when we have a pleasurable feelings, we have clinging on that and the upadana also there. So that leads to the going on a rut or going on a cycle of rebirth and again the death and all those things. The dukkha and everything is happening like that. Yes. Pleasurable feelings lead to have clinging and tanha. Yes. And what is the first one, Bandula, please?
First one, Venerable, is the addiction to the digital media due to the dopamine or the root of desire? Does the
That is the
phenomena...
first one, eh?
Yeah, for the first one, yeah.
What is the second? I answered
Yeah, I
for
think
the
it's the
first
same
one.
thing, Bhante. It's digital media, yeah, desire. Then the feeling lead to example is given. So what the question is asking, what craving and clinging.
Yeah. So craving, yes, for pleasurable, even for unpleasurable feelings. That is what the second report is. Even for the unpleasurable feelings, we have that desire and to think again and again in the same pattern, even for the undesirable one. So we feel like, okay, if I have unpleasant feelings or unpleasant thoughts, so we should avoid it. But yet, what we do, we go after it. So even for unpleasurable feelings, even for unpleasurable thoughts, we have that desire and clinging. Tanha and upadana is also there. That is the problem. It is not only for the pleasurable one, unpleasurable feeling also. The second report is totally on that. The unpleasurable thoughts are coming, undesirable thoughts are coming. Still, encourage it to come again and again. The desire is there, unfortunately. If you don't have a desire for that, it will not come again. But we have, that person has the desire for that, thinking again and again because of the desire, because of the clinging, because of the tanha. It is like the side of the coin. Pleasurable or unpleasurable doesn't matter. If you are not mindful, you cling into each side, one or the other. When you have a pleasurable one, we have lustful feeling and it is one side. When you have an unpleasurable feeling or undesirable feeling, so still we have a desire for that. That is a hatred feeling. Both are giving you rebirth and having again and again, samsara.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the end of the written report. And now we give a few minutes if someone has a question, so they can raise the Zoom hand, then we allow to present the question. Samantha, can Sonali unmute us?
Thank
you can present
you.
the question.
Yeah, thank you, Bantala. I couldn't unmute. Thank you, Venerable Rohini. That was a really, I found that a really interesting topic and advice Venerable gave. Yeah, I was interested about this, the craving, the cause. So basically, obviously, as Buddha said, the second noble truth of suffering is the craving. So we are led by our defilements, doing all these things about addiction and I suppose from the dependent origination, as you said, it's the feelings that are leading us to the craving and the addictions. So basically, this is the importance of being mindful. Then, so to stop that is the power that we're learning to be mindful and like I think that Venerable also said about the rewiring of the brain. So this is how we combat our defilements. So through mindfulness and uproot all our defilements, basically through the wisdom, seeing the impermanence or the arising and the passing of the feelings. Would that be
Yes.
the way to move forward and
Yes,
practice, as
that,
Venerable was saying? Thank you, Venerable.
yeah, that is that. Yes, it is the truth. Yeah, mindfulness, as I said, coin. So if you look at the coin has two sides. So each side is taking you in a sansara. So taking you with, tanha, each side. as I said before, we think the lustful feelings or the desirable feelings give us a tanha. But the other way also doing the same thing with the hatred feelings, the whoever having that hatred feeling like to have it again and again. The desire is there. So likewise, other than mindfulness, there's no any other solution or no any other remedy to overcome that disease, the defilements. The only the mindfulness is like there's no any side for the mindfulness. It go forward, go straight. So otherwise, we are going one side or the other. You are
Yeah.
right.
Thank you, Venerable. It just seems so easy, the solution to be mindful, but that is the biggest problem. Because, like, for me, yeah, just completely prapancha of proliferating and habitual. Yeah.
Yeah, the mindfulness is the only one. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Venerable. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
I think it's time up, Sonal. Is it 8 o'clock you normally finish? Yeah. Thank you, Venerable, for the talk and nicely doing the Q&A. And thank you very much for that. Sonali, over to you.
Thank you, Bandula, for agreeing last minute to read the reports with us. And thank you, Venerable Rohini, for that talk and taking all our questions as well and agreeing to host the session again. So it is now time to end the session. And on behalf of the organizers, I would like to thank Venerable Rohini again for taking this session. And also we can't forget our guide, our usual guide, Venerable Homagama Dhammakusala Thero, for his continued guidance on the program for all of us. And also, we can't forget the Chief Abbot of Nisaranavanaya, Venerable Udayiriyagama Dhammajiva Mahathero. So may this merit help all of them improve their own practice as well. Thank you to all the organizers for helping and stepping in whenever possible to maintain this program. And everyone who joined us today via Zoom and anyone who's watching our live stream or watching our recorded session on the website as well. Much merits to all of you, and our program will always commence at 1 p.m. at Sri Lankan time, and we will come to you next week the same time as well. We wish you all a happy and mindful week ahead. I'll see you next week. I will now stop recording and end the session.